Today's topic is success on the spiritual path. So, before we come to the spiritual side of it, what is success in anything we do in life? Anyone can say, what is success? Okay, good.
To be able to do what you want.
Good. And how do we do that? What Master said is success is concentration or willpower along with energy directed towards what you want to achieve. So, there are two parts: concentration and energy. And these are very important. If you see any person in this world who has succeeded in any field, you will realize those people are energetic. May not be outwardly, but in what they want to do. If it's on a sports field or it's on a external thing, you will find the energy more apparent, seen. But the more artistic or the more inner the field becomes, it may not be apparent outside, but the person is energetic, looking forward to do something. A lot of us can have energy, but are all of us successful? What we do with that energy is very important, and that is concentration. How do we achieve this concentration? When we use the energy at our disposal with willpower and direct it, concentrated on one thing that we want to achieve. This simple thing, if we follow in our life, we will achieve success in any outward thing we want to do. We ourselves in our lives would have realized it in some time in our life, in some studies, in some exams, in some small things, even in outward things. We have achieved success when we were able to do this. And a lot of times when we are not able to achieve success, we may be putting in the energy. But because it is frittered away, you're doing multitasking, you will not achieve success the way you would have achieved the other way. Why? Because you are bringing all the energy at your disposal at one point concentrated. That will achieve success. And what a better way to understand this is on our spiritual path. How do we put this template onto spiritual path? Do you think if we do the same thing on the spiritual path, will we achieve success? No. Why? Because this success achievement is directed outwards. I want to achieve this particular rise in my job. I want to achieve this success on the sports field. I want to do this. It is outside of me. If I use the same way of achieving success and sit for meditation, quite likely I will not succeed. But remember, the seed of success which we have implanted in ourselves by achieving outward success will help us in the spiritual path. And there is a very subtle difference. You would have realized all of us are trying to meditate, and we sit and we try and put our willpower and I will achieve samadhi today and I will not get up today till I achieve samadhi. What happens? All thoughts are rushing in, all restlessness. And I'm saying, no, get away from me, those thoughts. The more they rush in, what is happening? There is a very subtle difference. Outward success, the energy is directed outwards. For success on the spiritual path or for success in meditation, this energy has to be directed inwards. And we do nothing in our life which directs this energy inwards, except possibly when we had not come onto the spiritual path, we were listening to some beautiful music or something, and you close your eyes and say, wow, what a beautiful music. And you do at times feel as if something inside you is waking up. That is the first glimpse of inward journey. Now, what is the most important thing of learning how to turn this inwards is energization exercises. What are the two important parameters of energization exercise? We are taught tense with will, and the second one is relax and feel. Okay. Now, in this also, there are two aspects. First, tense with will. What do? We tense a muscle group. What is actually happening? Please understand the science of what is happening. In my brain, the thought comes, tense this muscle group. Now, that thought is passed through my nervous system as an energy into this muscle group. If it was only willpower, I just thought, okay, tense this muscle group. Will it tense? Till the time I don't direct the energy, and this energy is intelligent energy. It's just not any electrical energy that it will go and here it is, it knows which muscle to tense and which to relax. It gets tensed. And what is happening? This energy is moving within me. Again, it is directed in the sense to the muscle group. And a lot of us do at times start feeling this energy. But a lot of us do not pay attention to the second aspect, which is relax and feel. That is the most important for meditation, for spiritual path. Why? It is in this relaxation that you will learn how to go inwards. I will give you my own example. I joined the spiritual path and did level 1, did level 2, and we were taught energization exercises. I saw these people doing something like this. The oldies, it must be for old people who don't exercise. I don't need to do this. I'm hitting the gym. I'm a fit guy, and I didn't do it. I'm telling you because I was doing a home study kind of a course. And then someone told me that in Chandigarh there is a meditation group when I actually was getting my level 3 book. So I got the address and I went to Dr. Gurjeevan's place that time. And I reached there, and first day I reached, and everyone started doing this. I didn't know because I had not remembered them those exercises. So I started doing kind of mimicking people. And I said, yeah, this appears to be an important aspect. So I'll go back home and learn it. So I started learning those exercises. And in a few days, I had learned. And now I'll tell you why I'm telling you this episode in my life is I started energization. Once you have learned the exercises, you obviously close your eyes and energize. And the moment, like if I do now, this is happening, there's a blissful tingling energy going down from the heart chakra, it is going there, and it is reaching this muscle group. And the whole muscle group is now tingling bliss. And I started doing this. I said, what is this? This is something moving within me. And it was blissful. And I started, wow, there's something, this is not exercise, this is something else happening. But why I'm telling this, what started happening? I used to tense, leave it. What started happening? Such energy was moving within me that my feet started getting heated up. Where I used to do energization exercises, within 30 seconds, I had to shift because it was too hot to stand. And I started thinking, what is this happening? Then I spoke to Naya Swami Mukti, who was my mentor, and she said, you try and do energization on grass. So I went to the park outside and started doing there. Same thing. Instead of 30 seconds, it took 60 seconds. It was hot. I had to move. I didn't understand. Then I got back to her again. She said, maybe when you are relaxing, what are you doing? I said, I'm just letting go of the muscles. She said, no, feel also. Try and get. And the moment I understood this, what she said, tense, and the moment I relaxed, I was feeling for something inside me. And the moment I did that, I felt a thousandfold more energy, blissful now going up into the brain. There are now, I can't explain what is happening in my brain. And this was the important aspect of learning how to interiorize. Remember the second part of energization. A lot of us just do this and forget it. No, when you are relaxing, mentally become aware of the energy and pull it, kind of even pull it back to the brain. In this pulling back and inwards lies the secret of success on the meditative path. Meditation is not sitting like this, not moving, and trying not to think. It becomes boring. That is not going to be meditation. I have to be doing something which is improving, which is interesting. And that interest is what? The bliss of God is what? When you learn to go inwards, when you learn to go inwards, you will start touching that peace and bliss. It is all about magnetism. We have heard this dialogue many times. Success is magnetic. How is this magnetism working? Understand. It's a very subtle point and very important to understand. I am attracting success to me on the spiritual path, in outer life also. It is less to do how much effort I am putting in, as it is this magnet of my spine and my brain attracting this success to me. What is going to attract if I'm doing this outward thing, which I'm doing in the tensing exercises? I'm just sending out the message. Am I able to receive it? No. That will come in this relaxation and feeling inspect coming in. Remember this. In meditation, you have to learn how to turn your sense telephones inwards. How do I turn it? From birth, it has been going out. Okay, I have read here, I have heard here, turn your sense telephone inward. Will it happen on its own? No. There has to be something within me which is pulling this prana back, pulling the energy back. What happens in higher states of meditation is you stop hearing, you stop seeing, you stop all the senses switch off. How? The prana that was going and activating this physical senses stops. You cannot hear. Why? Because the prana is not going. Total energy inwards, and that is success on the meditative path. So remember this, turning the sense telephone inwards. Master used to do what? He used to taste from here, smell from here. When we are doing our meditation, when we are doing Hong Saw, we are told to take your awareness up, 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 and then we go here. I do not know if you keep on doing Hong Saw enough, oblique doing watching your breath for long enough, you start feeling as if you're breathing from here. There is a small pressure. A, how should I explain it? There is a subtle pressure you feel here, which is very good. Throughout, you can feel it. Slowly and slowly, you don't even have to reach the initially, you have to close your eyes to feel it. And as you get more and more into it, you feel it with your eyes open. That is being in the presence of God. In the beginning, we are told, think of God, think that you're conversing with God. What are we trying to do with that? Become aware of the inner world. The moment you are aware, you start feeling this blissful pressure here throughout the day. And then what happens? You are in the presence. Why did Master, why did Swamiji, all people say, work also as if you are with God? How? This is it. Now, science, medical science says the same thing. What is it saying? Prefrontal lobes, the important part of brain which is giving us decision making, feel good hormones, everything is scientific. The moment prana and energy is directed here, now I'll come to the medical side of it. There is a pineal gland, which the medical science till 15 years ago used to say is a vestige organ. It's useless. It's doing nothing. Then they started saying that it is photosensitive. So it is regulating that once the sunlight is up, it's time to eat, it's time to wake up, it's time to do. And once the sunlight is down, it does that. But it is much more than that. Now they say, what is actually happening? In meditation, you are activating this part. The pineal gland activates and sends a signal to the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland secretes the feel good or the feel bad hormones inside the body. The moment I learn to activate consciously the pineal gland, it sends this and I start feeling good. It is beautiful. It is really beautiful. It is scientific. How you can achieve success on the spiritual path is you're feeding success on success by calming. We are told in Hong Saw to watch the breath. What is happening? Actually speaking, what is preventing us from achieving super consciousness? What is preventing? Breath. Our breath is the biggest obstacle on our achieving super consciousness. Why? Because with breath, we have heard and studied in level 2 classes. What is happening with this breath is up and down and likes and dislikes. The moment it stops, automatically we will go into super consciousness. But in Hong Saw, Master is telling us to concentrate on the breath, the very thing that is the obstacle. There is again science behind it. What is this science? He is explaining to us that if I concentrate on the very thing that is blocking my path and becoming so concentrated, it ceases to be a problem. And you see what is happening in Hong Saw. You start watching your breath. The rishis found out the breath and the mind are correlated. How are they correlated? Like Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. What did he say? If you cannot control the mind, control the wind. Wind? Can we control the wind? And then you say, okay, what is Krishna talking? He is talking the breath. We human beings can initially control our breath. If I tell my mind, stop thinking of a particular thing, it thinks of that only. So, what these rishis found is that if I start controlling my breath and watching my breath, in fact, it will become calmer. If it becomes calm, my mind becomes calmer. When my mind becomes calmer, it causes my breath to become even more calm. The calmer breath, more. And what is going to happen? When my brain stops thinking, when my body stops moving, I don't need oxygen. Automatically, we will go breathless. And if we are breathless for a certain period of time, the heart also almost stops pumping and we go into super consciousness. We have achieved the success which we were thinking of when we started today's talk, but it is not so easy. It is not so easy. You have somehow to become aware of these inner energies. These inner energies, first you become aware of this prana. Once you become aware of this prana, then you learn how to control it. And more importantly, control it, you learn how to bring it inwards. That is a very important point. If I learn how to achieve success, control this prana outwards, I will start learning how to concentrate on outer things. But I want spiritual success. This inward thing is very important. If we are not able to, and this takes time to become aware of this inward thing and become aware of how to control it, what helps us most? Kriya Yoga. What is happening in Kriya Yoga? I am creating a magnet inside my Sushumna by repeated doing Kriya is like a bar magnet, up and down, up and down. And what is happening? A magnet is being created within me. And this magnet becomes so powerful that it pulls the prana inside. The moment it pulls, outward goes. And I have all the energy that is at my disposal disposal, sorry, take it upwards. And this is exactly how these saints are able to draw success to them. How do you those things? We are aware of what Master has done. When Master went to buy Mount Washington, the money that was asked and the money that SRF had at that time, it was impossible. And he said, okay, we will buy it. The close disciples who were with him, they said it is going to take 20 years to get this kind of money. What did Master say? To those who think it is 20 years, it will take 20 years. To those who think it will take 20 months, it will be 20 months. To those who think it will be 3 months, it will be 3 months. And 3 months, the money was there. What did he do? Attract the success. And he was not wanting personal success. He was doing that for us. Today we are teaching and talking of these great teachings because he had learned how to attract that success to him. Swami Kriyananda tells of a very interesting story that one day he had to go to some place in US and catch a flight, and this is in the early days, so there was no check-in and all those no security check in those days. And he saw his watch and he thought he had time to meditate, and he started switched off the light and started meditating in his room. And he says that he's meditating and suddenly he hears a knocking at the door, and he looks, there's still 1 hour to go for time to leave for the airport. And I don't know why this, he knew only one person could come who was to take him to the airport. He kept on meditating. After a few 5 odd minutes, there was more urgent knocking. Again looked, what is this guy doing? I'll meditate. This is a beautiful meditation. And third time, it was very urgent knocking. And he switched on the light and he saw he was watching his watch from a wrong angle. And he had only 25 minutes to reach the airport. And the time taken is 1 hour. And in no way he could have caught this so-called plane. He said, we rushed and he prayed to Divine Mother, if you want me to take this class, I leave everything in your hand. And what his words exactly are, he said, one monk looked to the left, one looked to the right, and one look behind if there are any cops. He oversped. There were 17 red lights on the way. And he said, Divine Mother, it is you. All 17 were green. He reached and he says, the moment he reached, he said, my ticket. And he said, no, it's closing. And the moment he took out his ticket, some change also fell. And he was on the flight. How do you think it is possible that 17 red lights became green? Do you think that someone on top was saying, oh, this guy needs to take the class 17 become green? It was his magnetism. He knew how to attract God's thing to himself, but in no circumstance was it personal. You see, Master wanting Mount Washington, Swamiji wanting to take this class, it was not for him. It was doing for God's work. Therein lies the success. Our birthright is God's realization. Just learn how to turn your senses inwards. Touch that bliss once, you'll leave this world. All the outer things will pale away. You will not leave them because people are saying drinking is bad, partying is bad, or for that matter, this is bad. Not because it is bad, because you have tasted something which is so far superior, you don't want it. Simple and straight. So let us dedicate and decide, pay attention to this relaxation and feeling part. Because in that feeling, we will learn how to go inwards. And once you have learned how to go inwards, the meditation will cease to be boring. It will become the most interesting and the most blissful part of your day. In fact, it will become so good that your body will get used to it. At a particular time, the pranas will start, senses will go inwards. You just cannot pay attention. Now I'm I've come on leave and my time for meditation is around 10 o'clock in the night. I'm talking to my daughter and she says, no, you speak to me and don't meditate right now. But prana starts going inwards on its own. I can't help to pay attention. She's speaking something and you're not listening to me. You're not listening. It's gone in. It's so blissful. So let's pray that we get that and learn how to do it consciously. Thank you so much, Ji.